On November 6th, you have the chance to stop the radical Democrats by electing a Republican House and a Republican Senate. The Democrats have become totally unhinged. They've gone crazy. The Democrats have become too extreme, and they've become, frankly, too dangerous to govern. They've gone wacko. You don't hand matches to an arsonist, and you don't give power to an angry left-wing mob, and that's what the Democrats have become.
So, President on the road this week out ahead of the midterms. You heard the message there: vote Republican or risk mob rule by the Democrats. This is the new talking point just in the past few days. Listen for it, already in heavy rotation, as our friends at the 8 p.m. hour compiled tonight.
The radical Democrats have turned into an angry mob.
The far-left mob is not letting up.
They have encouraged mob rule.
Anyone who's a Trump supporter, we're all targets of this.
There is only one party that has normalized violence in America in the last 2 years, and it's not the Republicans.
That is mob rule.
With this mob rule. Mob rule? About a mob rule.
Basically mob rule, no law and order. Do you want mob rule?
Yeah, the average citizen, if you're on the right, should be concerned and in danger.
Back to the event in Iowa tonight. Plenty of anger on display in the arena this evening, including a familiar chant, but this time directed at a new target.
How about Senator Feinstein? That's another beauty. That's a beauty. Did you leak the documents? What? No, I didn't. Did we leak? Did we leak? No. And I think they're talking about Feinstein. Can you believe that?
Well, with us to talk about what we witnessed tonight and going forward, Nancy Cook, White House reporter for Politico, and Kimberly Atkins, chief Washington reporter for the Boston Herald. Well, Kimberly, what you dreaded, you get to go first. Is our fear and anger motivators that are likely to sustain for 28, 29 long days here until the midterms?
Well, the Republicans seem to think so. It's a unified message that has brought them together from the Hill to the White House, that you see the president there and Senator McConnell and others really doubling down on it. We've seen the president turn to fear before, whether he's pushing immigration policies or other things, but it's clearly very important for the Republicans right now to try to keep the momentum up that they saw from their base in particular after the fight over the new Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh. It seems that these rallies that the president does, stumping for various midterm candidates, is a test kitchen, a messaging test kitchen of sorts, and it seems that the crowd really responded to it. So I think this is something that you're going to continue to see.
They sure are taking mob rule out for a spin. Hey, Nancy, I want to show you something else. The president apparently miffed tonight when he discovered the number of Nebraskans in the crowd after being promised an event in Iowa. We'll listen to it, talk about it on the other side.
Today I kept another major promise, as I said, to the people of Iowa and Nebraska and other countries. I could go on all night, but I want to get the hell out of here, okay? Because I thought I was coming to Iowa, and there's more people from Nebraska.
Well, let's just consult the map here for a second. President landed tonight in Omaha, Nebraska, where it is possible to drive south just across the river into Council Bluffs, Iowa, where the rally was held. So the rally was held in Iowa. You're going to attract a lot of Nebraskans, a lot of red Cornhusker-wearing Nebraskans. Nancy, I don't know of another politician who can get away with, I want to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, well, I think that, you have to keep in mind, Trump at these campaign rallies, having been at a bunch myself, the crowd is just in the palm of his hand. And I think that that's why he likes going on these campaign style rallies so much, because it is such a friendly environment. And the White House is feeling like it's on this high after getting Kavanaugh confirmed, even though it was a very contentious partisan fight. The president now has a foil heading into the midterms. He's talking about Democrats as this mob rule. And so he's doing all of these rallies this entire week. He was in Iowa. Tomorrow he's going to Pennsylvania. Friday he's going to Ohio. And, even though he could say anything to this crowd, like, I want to get out of here, or, chanting about locking up Senator Feinstein. That's what the crowd was doing tonight. And everyone goes along with it. It's really sort of an adoring situation for him, and he loves it. He eats it up.
Well, Nancy, while we're there, you just mentioned the upcoming rally schedule. And a lot of people noticed today, it looks like a 2020 rally travel map more than just a 2018 midterm map.
Well, I think that honestly that has been the plan even since August. I've talked to Republicans close to the White House who really laid out to me the idea that moving ahead, so much of these rallies strategically are in places that Trump will need to win in 2020 in states like Florida. And you saw some of the rallies that he did in August in Pennsylvania and places like that where the Senate or congressional races were a bit more of a toss-up. He did those rallies a bit earlier. And as we moved closer towards the midterm, he's going to do rallies in places where he thinks he'll be more successful. And as you said, he is really trying to create and build support heading into 2020.
And Kim, the section of the West Wing where they worry about things like polls, they've got a problem with independents post-Kavanaugh, and increasingly they have a problem with women who are telling pollsters they will vote for a Democrat in their congressional district. You see that far category. Let's round it 70-30. That's bad news for the Republicans.
Yeah, this is a key demographic going into these midterm elections. I mean, I'm thinking back to just a couple short weeks ago where Republicans were telling me that they were nervous that the Kavanaugh nomination would be problematic for the midterms for women just because of how much abortion would be talked about. That was even before the sexual misconduct claims. That's before the way many Republicans have responded to those claims. And so we are seeing some numbers that clearly has turned off some women. Has really caused some concern in these races where Republicans are trying to stave off any sort of blue wave, ripple, whatever size it might be. It's proven problematic, and that's one thing that Republicans are going to have to try to, one reason why they're trying to gin up their most ardent base to get them out to vote, but they're going to have to deal with this somehow in the 4 weeks, a little less than 4 weeks we have left before voters go to the polls.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.